Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the BBC News at 1. There have been angry scenes in Parliament in the last hour as the Scottish National Party's Westminster leader was ordered from the House of Commons by the Speaker. The SNP's other MPs then walked out of the chamber in a row about the way Scotland has been treated in the Brexit process. It comes as Theresa May remains under pressure over key Brexit votes and how much say MPs will have in any final deal. Our political correspondent, Jonathan Blake, has this report on the day's events.
Can you really please both sides, Prime Minister?
She's trying to keep everyone happy. But how much did Theresa May promise, and can she keep her word?
Questions to the Prime Minister.
Jeremy Corbyn accused the Prime Minister of reneging on a deal with her own backbenchers over how much say Parliament should have on a Brexit deal with Brussels.
How much more damage is the Prime Minister going to do to this country before she realises the important thing is to get a deal for the people of this country, not one to appease the clashing giant egos of her cabinet?
It's the Labour Party in opposition that are trying to frustrate Brexit. It's the Labour Party that are trying to stop us getting a deal for the British people. This government will deliver on Brexit. This government will deliver a Brexit for jobs. This government will deliver a Brexit that is good for Britain.
Don't walk into the pillar.
The government has enough obstacles of its own to avoid at the moment. But the minister in charge of Brexit laughed off questions many are asking about a deal that may or may not have been done. Those keen for Parliament to have more say, and those who just want to get on with Brexit, both say it's a question of trust.
Well, the Prime Minister is very clear that we absolutely should trust her, and we do. We didn't have a chance because, as ever in Westminster, these things came down to the wire in the last 15 minutes before the vote to go through the wording in detail. But it was very clear. This is not just relying on assurances given in the House of Commons chamber. This is a personal assurance from the Prime Minister that she understands our concerns and wants to build them into the amendment.
There is some confusion over what concessions may have been given to the potential rebels over Lord's Amendment 19, which was a wrecking amendment, the meaningful vote. But I've spoken in the since the vote with the Secretary of State, the Brexit Minister, Mr Baker, and the Dexit Whip, and their version of what concessions have been given to the potential rebels is somewhat different to what's appearing in the media at the moment.
So how to keep both sides happy? Ministers say yesterday wasn't the day to work out the detail. But time is short to come up with a solution that gives enough ground to those threatening to rebel, but doesn't upset those keen on a speedy Brexit. Today brought more Brexit-related drama in Parliament.
The reality of the situation is that powers that are enshrined under the Scotland Act in 1998 are being grabbed back by this House.
Ian Blackford was thrown out after repeatedly challenging the Speaker to allow an emergency debate on devolved powers. Chaos in the Commons briefly. The Prime Minister stuck to her line.
That I cannot countenance Parliament being able to overturn the will of the British people. Parliament gave the decision to the British people. The British people voted to leave the European Union, and as Prime Minister, I'm determined to deliver that.
Yesterday's near miss for the government showed again how divisions over Brexit within the Conservative Party, within Parliament and within government will mean difficult and delicate decisions at every stage. Jonathan Blake, BBC News, Westminster.
Well, let's get the latest from our assistant political editor, Norman Smith, who was watching those extraordinary scenes at Prime Minister's questions. Norman, I guess we take from all of this, this is still a Prime Minister hugely under pressure.